Hello everyone and welcome to another episode here on Vectorcraft. My name is Casanis, and we finished up our Skelly spawner. We finished up enough for now, and we've moved back here to spawn. We're all building spawn homes, so if you're wondering why I'm not taking off for an ice biome yet, it's for that particular reason. Everyone on the server is going to be building a spawn home of some kind, filling out this area really nice, and before I can actually leave for that ice biome, we are going to be building our spawn home, and it's going to be right in this area here. I've cleared it out a bit. It is going to be in steampunk style, just like we discussed, just like you guys voted for. It's going to be in steampunk style. And basically, I've done a little bit of research on steampunk because, I honestly didn't know exactly what it was. I knew the concept. Steam is now the main power source on this world. And it's used to drive everything. We actually have advanced technology using steam. You might have, giant robots and mechs, steam shovels, all these different things that you might actually have. Very advanced, however. And looking it up, there's several different kinds. There is Victorian, so it's kind of like in the 1920s kind of thing, Victorian-style homes in North America, or it could be North American Wild West as well. Now, I've decided to go with Victorian style for spawn, and I'll think about what I'm going to do once we get out farther. I kind of interested in the Victorian style. It's got nice peaked roofs and that kind of stuff, a lot of arches and decorative bits in it, so I kind of like that style. We might give that a try right here in spawn. Basically, the steampunk worlds that are images I've seen are, kind of crazy houses that look like they're terribly imbalanced. Narrow bases at the bottom and a giant house on top, or off-centered, and they don't look like they'd actually stand up that well. So that's what we're going to be doing here in spawn, anyway. Let me just cut down this tree because we're using this kind of wood. Now, I've decided as well. A lot of the images of Victorian houses that I've seen use a lot of white-colored brick, light-colored brick, and that kind of stuff, and colored roofs, and what have you. And so we're going to do the same thing. Now, I've decided to go with this new plant. It's this new wood, the acacia wood. It has a nice gray skin on it, a nice gray bark, and it has a bright orange interior. Now, I have no idea how this orange interior is going to look, to be honest. It might look absolutely horrendous once we get it up. But that's the way it goes when you're just starting out with these things and it's all brand new. So I'm going to give it a try. It's very, very, very vibrant. And the dark woods are very, very dark. So I think we're going to go with this here. We actually have plenty of it here. I can replant them and grow them very quickly. So we'll use it pretty well here in spawn. The idea I have for the spawn house is going to incorporate both a home for me as well as a outbuilding that's going to house some kind of business, which is going to be sale of mercenary equipment or mercenaries for the home, such as, for example, Uni's potion shop. Maybe she wants some kind of a night guard or whatever, and I'll install that for her. So that's our business we're going to be having here. And of course, we're going to be having the sideline of being in contact with the Melon Mafia and setting up hits. Now, I think hits are going to cost about 1 diamond. That's pretty darn cheap to have someone killed on the server, so I think that's what it's going to cost. And that way we'll get a lot of action. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I might set up a rule that you can't kill someone who hasn't died yet, and that's only Ritz. Ritz is the only one on the server right now with 0 deaths, and he's doing a really good job, and he's working really hard at it, and I can guarantee the second I put up my sign saying, let's kill people, everyone's going to say kill Ritz. And you know what? I'm not going to do that, I don't think, just because he's working really hard to have 0 deaths. Once you've got that first death out of the way, it's a different story, though. You are fair game. Hey, 2 game, what's up? Hey. So, that's how we're going to do it. I'm going to build a tower right here. Not a tower, it's going to be a base. A really simple base. Kind of a tapering base that's going to go up to a main Victorian-style home up top. What I'm going to basically do is I'm going to build this up, and I'm going to be using both the acacia wood as well and planks, as well as the white stained clay. That's my plan. That is our color scheme. It might look horrendous, and I have no idea yet. I'm really hoping it doesn't. But guys, I'm going to get the basics put in here, and then I'm going to come back and let you see exactly what we're doing. Okay? I'll talk to you all very soon. Welcome back, everyone. This is the basic look of the base of the tower anyway. Not the actual tower itself. And like I keep saying, it's not a tower, it's a base. So, let me see. Let me get rid of this stuff. We don't need this anymore because people now know that I'm here. So, basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to add a simple door to get in. Get rid of this one too. A simple door to get in right down here. And I'll fancy this up a little bit. It's kind of plain right now. But you're going to come inside, and then immediately on the inside, all it's going to be is a slowly narrowing staircase. So you can see it starts off as 4 wide, and then it narrows into 3, and then it narrows into 2, and it comes all the way up here to the top. And on this level right here, I'm going to put a, maybe I should get rid of one of these actually. Did I do this right? Maybe I'll go up one more. Maybe I'll go up one more. Yeah, so it's basically like this, a spiral staircase that goes all the way up, just like this. And yeah, that's it. So there's not going to really be anything down here. Maybe I'll put like a little office or something here. I don't know. Maybe I'll put a walkout to get to the store or something over here. I'm not exactly sure yet, but this is it. I'm going to keep it really, really simple, exactly like you see here. All right, everybody, I'm going to come back as soon as I've got a floor in, and after that, we will start to look at the Victorian on top. Now, this is going to take actually quite a while to build, and that's why I'm doing it in chunks. That's why I'm not actually building it on camera. I think it's going to take a really, really, really long time to do, and all it is a really, really basic thing. I'm not going to add any redstone or anything like that into it. I'm going to keep it really simple, and that way when we move off, I don't like this. I don't like this. That way when we move off to the new location, I will have lots of fun and exciting stuff to do there. Okay, everybody, I'll be back when I have a little bit more finished. Okay, guys, we are on top of the tower, or base. I keep calling it a tower, but it's really not a tower because there's nothing inside of it besides a spiral staircase. This level is where we're going to put the Victorian style home. Again, I am running pretty low on resources. Not very much of anything left. Definitely not enough to build a Victorian home, so I'm going to have to go looking for some stuff. This is basically what it looks like on the inside. You come all the way down, around this narrowing, or in this case going downwards, it's a widening staircase, all the way around. And yeah, that's basically it. I've got a couple of different balconies and that kind of stuff, which I think is you know, Victorian had a lot of different balconies and, you know, walkways and that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to add that in here. So there's basically like a little Juliet balcony right there. Let's go take a look. That's overlooking. Let's go up. It comes out right here. So just kind of overlooks this area like this. And then if we continue up the stairs, the narrowing staircase, we have another walkout right here that kind of comes to this wraparound balcony, kind of like those old porches, like the Victorian porches that, you know, wrap around the house. So I tried to add that in, that feeling in here. And then right above us on this level is going to be the main house. It's not going to be very big. I want to add, for definite, I want to add a potion room, and I want to add a chest room, and I want some place to sleep. But that's all I really require in this location. Everything else I want to build out in. We're leaving, and I want to build it out outside. I'm also going to add a building down there of some kind, like I said, to house the shop that I'm going to run. Okay, everybody, so I'm going to go off. I desperately need clay is what I need, and I don't want to leave. I don't want to go too far outside of spawn, just because too far outside of spawn, we start to generate stuff, and we're really trying to avoid generating too much stuff. So I'm not sure where I'm going to find it. The riverbed has been completely drained of clay because MK has used hardened clay, cyan-colored hardened clay, all along the entire road system. There's so much clay in there. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so that's already gone. I'm going to have to go find some. I think I'm going to go look in the swamp. There's a swamp that I believe is out in that direction. Not too far away. So I'm going to go take a look there. And hopefully I find some stuff. Okay, guys, I want to come back. I'm going to build. Maybe I'll even have this built. This Victorian house right here built. And then afterwards we'll add the steampunk style stuff. Because I'm holding off on adding that for now. I guess I'm kind of doing it with this little, this base right here. But I'm going to add something that's going to be, you know, generating power and, you know, just some stuff like that. Okay, so I'll talk to you all very soon. Okay, guys, I've been building, and this is what I came up with. I actually can see right now, right there, that I'm missing a stair. But other than that, it's almost done. I think the big problem is don't shoot at me, 2Game. I had this idea in my head about what I was going to be doing, and it didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted. People's opinion around here is that it looks a little more fairy tale than steampunk. And you know what? I have to agree. It's too clean. It looks too clean. I'm going to have to add some kind of like contraptions or something on here to make it look a little less fairy tale and a little more steampunk. Yeah, I added a whole bunch of like these like hanging off things and a whole bunch of like these wraparound wraparound balconies and that kind of thing. And then the big house on top is, of course, a Victorian style house. Let's go ahead and take a look at it, actually. I think I'm going to add, I don't know what I'm going to add yet. I'm going to have to think of something that's going to go in here that's going to make it look a little more steampunk. Alright, let's go and take a look. So, the bottom is really, really simple. It is just this open room, which I might turn into a store of some kind, but I'm not really sure yet. And it is this wraparound stairs that goes up to these different little Juliet balconies. And we will head up to the first balcony, which is right here. And it's an entire wraparound, like those big Victorian porches, is kind of what I was going for. All the way around. There's only the one entrance right here, a big Victorian porch, and then continue up the stairs, the narrowing stairs, into the main room, which is a really, really simple. Hey, this is missing. Really, really simple. I've got I've got a potion room, which we are sitting in right now, and I'm making some potions. Bam, 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 bam. So a potion room right here. I might even consider hanging a balcony off here, but I'm not really sure yet. And a little storage room. I don't need a whole lot of storage on here simply because I'm not sticking around. Pretty soon I'm going to be gone off to the packed ice biome. So a little bit of storage here, about 5 chests, and a little bit of one furnace and one crafting bench. And if we go up a little higher, we go into this top room, which I don't have it really set up yet. I haven't decorated or anything like that. With the big ceilings, the big windows, and this is just basically a bedroom. So that's what the whole thing kind of looks like at this point in time. I'm going to do one more update once I've got a couple of contraptions hanging off it and see if that actually helps it to look a little more steampunk-ish. Alright guys, so I will talk to you all super soon. Okay guys, that's it. This took me a really, really long time. And I think it's done. I've added in a paddle wheel with a big pipe coming out the side right there. And I'm not sure about the cobble for that pipe. Maybe I should have used smooth stone. I don't know. Maybe I'll mix in some of the mossy cobble I have in there too. I'm not really sure, but that's basically what I added for the steampunk style. I added the wheel with a waterfall coming down through the pipe. And of course, as I mentioned before, all the Juliet balconies, all the different balconies sticking out. So this is my steampunk design. Let me know what you guys think, if it worked or if it didn't work. If it worked or if it didn't work, let me know. Let me just run on the other side here. Because I'm really interested in having you guys do this with me. Help me along, and this is as much your build as it is mine. You guys pick this style, you guys pick the biome and the style, and if I'm not doing it justice, then you let me know. I might try adding another balcony hanging off here. I think that would look good, but that's probably going to be it. That is probably going to be it. It does have a really fairy tale look as opposed to steampunk, I think, and that's just because it's not quite as dirty as it needs to be. So, but let me know what you guys think. This is my first build. It's my in-spawn build, and when we actually go elsewhere, then we're going to maybe we'll try something a little different. Maybe I have to add something here too, some kind of machinery sticking out the side here. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. We'll do one last run through, because I don't think I showed you the actual larger balconies and that kind of stuff as well. So once again, one last time, here we go. Up along the stairs, leads to little balconies, and the one I didn't think I showed you was at the top. I actually added a larger balcony, so we'll go all the way up. I actually added a larger balcony right out here where I added in some of the acacia trees, kind of a little relaxing spot where you could hang out and kill mobs from way up here. You have a view of the entire village from up here. It's kind of nice. Anyway, guys, that's it. I want to thank you guys very much for helping me out. Please, if you have any ideas at all, let me know. I'd love to hear them. I want to know what you guys think, what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. Okay, guys, so if you haven't done so, make sure you guys like or dislike. If you don't like it, make sure you dislike too. But make sure you give me some kind of rating to let me know how I'm doing. Make sure you guys leave comments. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. And if you haven't done so, make sure you guys take a few seconds and subscribe. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, everyone.